Welcome back to the Carlisle Med Gym. This is week 7 of our series on smart core training. Hope you had a Merry Christmas, and now we're back to some core training. So this week we're going to talk about a very common core exercise called the plank. Now everyone knows how to plank, or they think they know how to plank. Everyone's seen planks, everyone's heard of 5-minute plank challenges, but there's a lot of issues that I see when people go out there and just start planking, and we're going to talk about some of those today. So number 1 is the setup when you go into a plank. So the plank is a great core exercise for the anterior core, working on stability, working on resisting excessive extension at the spine. But the problem comes when someone sets up for a plank and they come down into this, and again, they don't set up in a neutral spine position. So you might get up into a plank and be piked up at the hips, excessively arched at the back, or vice versa, way too high in the hips, rolled through the lumbar spine. So the biggest thing when we set up for this is find that neutral spine posture and maintain that. So you're coming up off the ground, everything's braced through the core, the glutes are turned on, shoulders are stable. I'm not starting to hang down on the lumbar spine and arch the back excessively. So when you set up for it, you gotta be able to find that neutral spine posture, and often it helps to have someone who knows what they're looking at give you a little feedback. So set up into it, make sure you're a neutral spine, make sure you're braced throughout here, and you're not compensating away from that. The second concept is the matter of how long should I hold a plank for. So what generally happens is people try to hold a plank for as long as they can, which usually just turns into hanging out and trying to survive. So rather than just trying to survive, we want to make our core training effective and actually training the proper muscles. So typically what happens with anything longer than a good 10-second hold is that oxygen becomes depleted in the cells, lactic acid starts building up, and you start compensating away from the core muscles we're trying to train. So we want to actually build up endurance at the core with a plank, but rather than holding for 5 minutes, try 6 10-second holds, or try 10 10-second holds. So you're taking a little break between, you're resetting, and you're coming right back up into a good posture. So it might look something like this. Plank, 10 seconds. Take a 2-second break, right back up, 2-second break, right back up, and we repeat that 10 seconds. And so effectively, again, I'm training the core, I'm not just training the hip flexors or the shoulders or something else that's holding me in place rather than the core. And we're also training the core in more of a realistic, functional manner, because you never just walk down the street holding your core brace as hard as you can for 5 minutes straight. You break it up, so you might need to engage your core, relax, engage your core, relax. So when we go into a plank, we want to make it a little more functional by first of all setting up properly, and then shorter holds, 10 seconds max, repeating that over time.